Hello everyone, and welcome to the third crystal of Crystal Chandelier. Welcome back, and thank you for viewing my video. So it's been about a month since I did the last video, and I was waiting on God to inspire me of what I needed to speak of next. And so He has done that. So I want to talk to you about continuing your faith even though you're in some type of pain. So about a week ago, I have a wisdom tooth that has erupted, and I set up an appointment to go and see a dentist, and God got me to that dentist okay. And I walked in, and I had a certain insurance, actually. And the insurance that I have is a very limited insurance. And so the dentist wanted to do some work on my tooth. So in other words, he wanted to pull the tooth, but the x-ray that they needed to do was not covered by my insurance. And so by law, he told me that they couldn't pull it because something could happen. And so I was they couldn't help me there at that particular dentist. And I walked out, because strangely it was bothering me when I came in, but it started to really bother me after that appointment, I think, especially when I got home. So my whole face right here is numb, and the tooth is still in there. And unfortunately, the appointment that they set up for me, none of the appointments can get me in until May. So that's about 3 months away for me to be able to get this tooth. And so I'm pulled, and so I'm sitting there thinking, well, how in the world am I going to endure this pain? And what's interesting is that I've learned in my life that every time that I try to sing, when I have something as far as music coming up, the devil begins to mess with me. And so for me, this is another challenge that the devil has put in front of me in order to stop me from doing the will of God. So I left the appointment, and I remember I was at this hospital, and I was sitting down for a little bit before I left, and I happened to notice some pictures that were on a wall. They were some beautiful paintings of different people, and I later understood that those paintings were paintings of some of the dentists that were there when this place probably first opened. And I remember looking at these pictures, and my mind instantly went to, I don't see not one black face on that wall. There's no paintings of a person of color like me. There's none. And that kind of frustrated me, and it saddened me as well. Now, keep in mind that I didn't realize that the devil was going to continue to work on me. Remember, his goal is to stop me from singing, and more importantly, to stop me from having faith in God. So I left that place, and I decided that the address that they gave me for another clinic that could possibly see me, they thought, I thought, okay, since I'm on the bus, I'm going to go ahead and try to find the bus that goes to this appointment in case they see me today, or they can see me today. So I started to walk, and I quickly got lost, and my phone map was not working, where it wouldn't, it told me the street I needed to be on, but it didn't tell me how to get there. No matter if I had my location on or whatever, it wouldn't tell me. And so I got really frustrated. And so I walked over a bridge that I've never walked on before, and I've seen the bridge many times in my life, but I had never been over that bridge. And I happened to walk over the bridge, and I happened to notice that it was right over a water canal, and it was a beautiful view, actually. So I sat there for a minute, and I actually continued walking, and then something told me just turn around, because because before I even hit the bridge, something in my spirit said, go home. But I didn't listen to that. I said, I'm going to continue to look for this place and see if, or, look for the bus and see if I can find it. Okay, so I turn around and I go back over the bridge again, look at the water canal for a minute, which was a beautiful sight. And it was kind of interesting, too, to be on that bridge, because when cars went over it, or a heavy truck, you could feel it move. And so that was an interesting sensation to feel that. And I realized that you have to have faith to even stay or stand on a bridge. We're putting a lot of faith in God just doing that. So I began to walk the opposite way and see if I could figure out what direction this particular clinic was walking. So strangely, my phone worked for that. It showed me the walking path that I needed to take. So I started to walk, and as I began to walk, I started, my skin started kind of itching. You know how you are in the cold and you start walking for a long distance and your legs and stuff start itching a little bit, where I could feel that starting to happen. So I ended up stopping, and I started to become sad, because I thought, here I am, 56 years old. I don't have a car. I don't have a good insurance that would take me, so I wouldn't be still suffering from this tooth issue that I have. So I turned around, because something told me to turn around again and go back, even though I didn't want to do that. But I looked at the phone and I saw how far this actual clinic was. It was really far as far as walking distance. On the bus, it wouldn't have been so bad. So I ended up going back, and I got on the train and I came home. And when I came in the house, I was like upset, and I was like, why couldn't they see me, and why was I sent to this other clinic that I can't find? And it went through my head for a minute that, God, why won't you help me? That's what actually went through my head. Why won't you help me? Why all of these years I've been wanting a vehicle, a car that I can drive, so I don't have to walk all the time or catch buses. Why won't you help me? And I felt that way as well, because I had worked for 19 years, and during that 19 years, as hard as I worked, I was never able to receive or be able to afford a car or insurance or anything. Even the insurance at my job I couldn't afford. And so it was I felt just let down in my soul, but I tried to shake it off. I really did. So I ended up getting home, like I said, and I started to call. I called my insurance company to see why I was denied, and I was a little bit snippy with one of the girls, and I had to stop myself and say, I know this isn't your fault, because taking it out on the workers that are there, I know that is not the right thing that, for me to do, because God knows what they're going through in their own lives. So I knew, by just the Spirit of God that wasn't right. And so I tried to calm down. So I called the clinic that I was referred to by the place that I was at, as far as, the dental work. They said, okay, we can't help you, but maybe this place can get you in. So I called that place, and come to find out, they couldn't accept me until May. And so I called another place. They said the same thing. We can't accept you until May. And so as I sat there after all of this had kind of calmed down, I tried to talk to my sister, and I couldn't calm myself down. And so I was really doing, I wasn't making the situation better by worrying. So later on that afternoon, late afternoon, I realized something. I realized that because when I got home and I walked in the door, a while after I walked in the door, not too long though, it started to pour down rain. And even though when I was out I had my umbrella, I think that this would have added to my anxiety at the time. So I started to think about how God really did bless me through this situation, as far as not being able to get to that place. Because when I thought about it, if I would have got on the bus, found the bus and got on there and went to the clinic, I would have been turned away because they couldn't have seen me until May, which was an interesting thing. And it was interesting as well that God allowed me to come back home in time where I wasn't drenched as far as the rain was concerned. He also blessed me when he had me walk over that bridge, because that view calmed me down for a minute. And because I was, rattled, or I was letting Satan rattle me, I didn't really fully appreciate that view. And so I wanted to tell you guys of just to be very careful in your own lives when you're going through things. I know that it's hard. I've been there. But remember that Satan is trying to mess with you for some reason. There's something coming up in your life, or that you're supposed to do, that Satan is trying to stop. And one of the biggest reasons, or the most often things that he does, is he will try to rattle your faith in God. So please remember during your hard times to, of course, do what you've heard many people say before, and that's pray. Stop and pray. Stand still and pray. I realized that there's a song that I wanted to sing for my next performance, and I realized that if I didn't go through this particular trial, this song wouldn't be as deep for me, where before I was singing the words and I meant them, but now I'm really able to ponder the meaning of it in God. God is a great God, you guys. And even though I'm sitting here still and I have pain in my tooth a lot and my face is swollen, I still have faith that God is going to help me, that he will do something. I just have to wait and be patient with his timing. And I pray that you too will be patient with God and his timing. Try to do things like when you're in pain or when you're upset, pick up the Word of God, start reading it. That's one thing I did this morning, was I started to read the Word of God. And I didn't do that yesterday, by the way, when I was going through things. But pick up the Word of God. The Word of God is medicine to our souls. And Satan knows that. That's why he tries to keep us from that. So I hope that this little story and this little trial that I'm going through will help you in some way to look at the positive things that are going on despite the pain that you might be in your life. I had a really wonderful dentist that was a very caring person. The woman that was teaching him was very funny, and she brought a smile and joy to my soul while I was there. The staff at that hospital was very kind to me and helpful. They did what they could. And so there were blessings in that trial that I had yesterday, and I believe that there's going to be continued blessings even though I'm going through this. But God did give me some medicine to take to dull the pain for this, and so I'll have to take some of that soon, actually. But I wanted to do this video, and I'm so thankful to be able to bring you this third crystal for your chandeliers. I love you guys so much. And even though right now I have no views on these videos, I hope that one day God will bring the people that need to hear these things to this channel. And so until then, and until next time, take care.